Welcome to the From the 108 podcast, starring the drunk uncles of White Sox Twitter. He's a Twitter like whore, an Instagram thirst trap, and your grandma's guilty pleasure, Beef Loaf. A West Coast attitude in a decidedly Midwest body, My Sock Summer. And your host, he's sharing obscure music thoughts to give you time to hit the bathroom, Terezi E.
Thank you, Cornsey. Welcome to the From the 108 podcast. Get ready for some baseball, beer, and bullshit. And remember the drinking rules. If Beef Loaf says allegedly, or that he wrote a blog about that, you drink.
If baby.
Summer doesn't know a player or mentions his time on the West Coast, you drink. And if I swear or say, here's the thing, you drink. Fellas, speaking of drinking, what are you drinking?
Ooh, Lordy.
Beef, what do you got on tap there?
I got that. I'm starting off with the Next Coast IPA by Goose, and then I'm going to back it up into a little sock sale. I know we're sock sale is like an endangered species, and I probably shouldn't drink it. I should probably store them like Bitcoin and wait for the value to go up, but I can't help myself. I love them so much.
I'm having one too, and this one like exploded when I opened it. So I got one more over here in the group of beers that I got because I got a kind of a mishmash of
nice
of different Goose stuff. So there's one in there. Who knows? Maybe it just explodes in my face when when I open it.
That's the kind of action we need on this show.
Yeah,
it's
gonna Peter North. Yeah,
I got nothing to clean up, so I'm just gonna have to sit here with it on my face,
like most starlets. Yeah, awesome.
Do what I have to do, man.
My summer. I respect that.
What you drinking?
So I thought we were we were no longer contractually required to drink Goose during the podcast. So
we're not.
I went back to my roots, and I'm drinking a little Woodford Reserve tonight. I got the
nice
Woodford Reserve. I hesitated, and I almost started drinking at 5, and I was like, I know I'm gonna drink whiskey tonight. Bourbon, and I said I cannot do this, so I waited until I came down to do notes at 6:45. So I'm almost 1 in on this big guy. It is it's a 90 proof. So if I had a second ad read to do tonight, it'd be fucked. But I don't, so we're good. So we'll just have really shitty takes. So we'll be fine.
That would be 90 proof, be 35%. By the way, the people in the comments have been 108ing. Everyone in here is
yes.
They started since noon.
Oh, wow.
Let me find Jose Munoz. He said he's been having Jack and Coke since about 5. So we got a good crowd in there, a lubed up crowd ready to go for tonight.
I love it. I love it. We're going to be talking a little drinking today too.
Yeah.
I thought Nam said that he was doing Jack and he was drinking Jack. I was like, whoa, man, Nam with the Jack. I don't know.
I like that. I like him getting down. Get down, James Brown, baby.
That's an Aloha Mr. Hand thing, huh?
Beef, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm good. I put up a poll before the show this morning. I was like, what should I talk about my banter? The slap or how Step Brothers makes me cry? And obviously, I don't really want to talk about the slap because I don't have a take on it at all. I just thought it would be funny to put as kind of like my counter in there. And Step Brothers actually swept it out, dominated. People are sick of the fucking slap, apparently. But what you're not sick of is Beef Loaf embarrassing the shit out of himself. So that's what I heard. People want to hear more embarrassing Beef Loaf stories. I said, I don't have any more enema stories, and I got to let the enema story rest maybe about 6 weeks before I bring it back in some other capacity. But last night, we're on a nice high. I had, at work, I had a big accomplishment happen. 108 tourney, one of the best ever. We'll talk about that kind of later on in the show. You and I, boys, we talk afterwards. We're jacked up. We're excited. I grab a couple more beers. I go upstairs. Mrs. Beef is watching Step Brothers. Hilarious movie. So we're watching it, whatever. Goofy if you like that kind of goofy. We're watching it. So I don't know, it's getting through there, and she's like, finally she goes upstairs, and she's like, she's gonna go to bed. And I'm like, fucking, I'm on a high. I'm gonna stay up a little bit. I'm drinking beer. And I'm watching down towards the end, and it gets to the part where the dad's telling him about not losing your dinosaur and all that stuff. I was like, I always felt that part. I always thought, oh, that part's cool. And then the part when they go up on stage. And Dale goes up there first, and he's eating shit, man. He's getting shit thrown at him or whatever. you know, and I'm like, oh yeah, you know, and then Brennan goes up there. He's brave and he doesn't want to do that or whatever. And my eyes started welling up. I started getting emotional about how he was covering up for a friend in need. And Teresa, you know me. I mean, like when I was a kid, I was a big fucking crybaby. But as an adult, you never see me cry over any. It's a Wonderful Life at the end when all the friends help. And it's like Sam Wainwright's postcard, hee haw, is going to send him 20 grand to save his ass. Like for some reason,
this is an interesting comparison.
But it's the same concept. It's a friend helping you when you're fucking way down and out, and that's your only lifeline. And man, my eyes started welling up, and I'm like, I am sitting and I don't cry. I'm sitting here crying to Step Brothers. What person is bawling to Step Brothers?
You were very drunk. You were very drunk because like the only like I thought you were going to say that you were crying for the 80s Joel cover band getting upset and leaving. You wanted
getting
more.
Yelled at. Yeah.
No, I was emotional, baby. I was emotional. Couldn't believe it.
Wow.
And let me tell you that Brennan singing was the cherry on top. All right.
It's so good.
It really brought it home for me, the whole thing. I know. Everyone's going to give me shit. I don't care, man. I will get emotional when I got to get emotional. And I had to bring it out here and let you guys know tonight.
I love it. I appreciate it. I'm a fan of the movie.
Love it.
But My Suck Summer, what did you think about that?
I was confused when he said that there was a part of the movie that made him cry. So that was interesting. I know what part he's referring to. What I found most interesting in the part in the story is that he was a big crybaby as a child.
I was huge.
And when you say that, is that because like if you got like kicked in the nuts or something, you start crying?
Not physical pain. No. It was not physical pain. It was.
What was it?
You know what it was? Like growing up, whatever reason, I just didn't handle stress well. Probably until I was like a teenager.
Yeah.
Then it flipped over. Like I think it probably toughened me up when I got to high school and I was no longer the best basketball player. I was like the 13th best basketball player on my team, and I would be eating shit every day at practice. Like some of that stuff like toughened me up and got that out of me now. And now I give less of a fuck about mostly anything. So like it sort of way washed away. But as a kid, I just didn't deal with stress well, and I would be bawling my ass off about little bullshit.
So I get that.
I think for me it was a little bit different because like at around like 7th grade or so, like I started gaining a little more confidence because I started drinking. Things went a different direction for me, but that's maybe why I'm so gray.
That's funny, like that you say that, because I credit marijuana with like turning me into a man, because like I just stopped giving a fuck, and things
Thank you, Roxy. Appreciate
so much better after that happened. It was like, oh, I don't really care anymore. Like, oh, you don't like that I got a B? Oh, okay, I don't really care. Like, it doesn't bother me. It's not gonna be something that bothers me later. And it turned out just fine. I'm part of this great podcast.
I thought
pretty good, not bad.
Maybe
to be clear, my stress shit. It was not our parents putting a lot of pressure on us about anything. That was not the case.
You put it on yourself.
It was me on myself.
You were basically Kevin from Parenthood, if I recall.
Great call. Yes. That's a great call. Yes.
Not if I recall the movie. If I recall your actual life. That is what I'm saying.
I never but yes.
I thought it was going to go to, like, he was watching somebody stand up and help out his bro, and then he was going to sideswipe you and say that you never did that, Chirizi. So that's what I would thought he was.
No, that's not.
I thought he was going to say it was when the bunk beds fell, because his fat ass could have done that to us at any point in my life.
Yeah, because I was top bunk.
You're always top bunk. Man.
You were top bunk because you could jerk off up there and nobody can see it. What's going on? That's definitely the key move.
My sex summer, not until at least 6th grade. Not until at least 6th grade.
So when your brother started drinking, you started jerking off.
That's what made me start drinking. That's what made me start drinking.
Now this comment up there, it says Beef seems to be a bit of a perfectionist. I'm actually not. I am not a perfectionist at all, but I am critical of myself. I don't need everything to be perfect, but I do realize when I got some faults, and I fucking work on them. I push myself to work on them. But I'm not a perfectionist. Like if we,
and he also, I was gonna say, you also realize when we have some faults, and let us know that too. Like, hey, I got to help us along. Little you need to change this, or hey, you need to do something about it. You just be like, hey, you know this, right? Like this is good, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it.
So Brian, you said, does that make Treasy the kid that bumps things with his head? This is the Parenthood reference.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kinda.
like I kind of was that kid. Like
he was not at all. Treasy was. Don't lie. Don't bullshit. Treasy was straight A student.
I was
99th percentile on all the testing. That's what
I was.
Is.
But Beef, if you were in a play when I was a kid and someone started roughing you up, I would have ran up there.
You'd be ready to throw. Yeah, you'd be ready to throw hands.
Although I wasn't as tough as that kid, so I would have just ran up there, got my ass beat by some 6th graders.
That's true. You'd have been ready to throw hands, no doubt.
My Suck Summer, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing great. Like I not that things weren't going well, in my Sock Summer world, but like I had some things just like pay off and like come through and like just ending the month of March just like on a fucking roll, baby. Like it was just it's just been good. Like one of the best things that happened was the UPS guy USPS finally paid off on an insurance claim of $125 for a Starbucks cup.
Yes.
That broken transit, which made me so happy. And then I walked in there, and the woman who is the postmaster general over at the stockyards thing, she looks at me and she goes, "I'm so damn glad those masks aren't a thing anymore. Look at you. Just look at you." And I was like, "Oh yeah, hell yes." And so then
very horny.
Yes. So then I'm like, "This is great." And then she goes, "Do you want that cup back?" And I go, "Absolutely," because I'm pretty sure I can sell it for $75 on eBay broken. And like, I think somebody will buy it. So anyway, I got that back. I'm not trying to commit mail fraud. So Jack, if that's mail fraud, you let me know. Destroy that right away. I don't want to go to jail. But I also went and picked my daughter up at her school. One of the moms there looks over at me. She goes, "Did you shave off your beard or lose an extreme amount of weight?" I looked at her and she goes, "Yeah, it looks like you lost like about 40 pounds. And I was like, "I did lose 40 pounds. And I go, "This is insane." And I'm like, just feed it to me. Feed it to me. I need that.
I feel like these conversations went a lot more like this.
No, exactly. But regardless, I need to know who the mom was. Tell me offline. Tell me who told you that. I want to hear it.
She's got like 3 kids and they seem like a handful. So no, it's not happening.
Doesn't matter. I'm still interested in knowing.
It was great, right? And then this morning, I alerted you guys to this, alerted to the 108 and Tainted Glove and Nam and Wally chat to it. Like, listen, these guys on Barstool Radio, Redline Radio, were just lapping the knob this morning, like when they started their fucking podcast. And not only was it just like, hey, like I love Dave and I love Dave's ability to stick up for himself. And like, even when he doesn't need to do that, like he doesn't need to like prove himself to anybody. People like him or hate him regardless. So it doesn't matter. But I like the fact that it still bothers him that people haven't met him hate him. And him just expressing that is just like, it's just great. But while this is going on, Carl's in the background talking about how much of a genius idea the 108 tourney was. And I'm like, oh,
that's
man.
What we needed. Like, more people patting Beef on the back. Jesus
right.
Christ.
Like just and like continuously. They didn't just say it one time. They said it about 19 times. And I'm sitting there thinking, and there's like when you're in this game with the podcast stuff and the White Sox Twitter and whatever, okay, you become something, right? And like you have something coming up. It's like these little victories. While that isn't going to profit for us on paper, right? Like that's not something that we can say, oh hey,
saying that, yeah,
I'm going to pay my mortgage with these comments. But those are the kind of things that I like to hear to go, you guys are doing something right. This is right. What you think is cool, we also think is cool. And like, hate them or love them, they're still fucking successful and have gotten to where they're at without a big like media back. They got up and they got where they're at. So I don't know. It was just impressive.
MSS. I'm going to tell you something. When I heard something like that, and obviously we do these types of things for ourselves and for the people.
Yeah.
We love to interact with everyone. But when you hear someone who does content for a living, that's their job. That's all they do. That's their careers. And then they say, this is really great. These guys did this thing and it's really great. And they even threw in, they're older guys or whatever. And I was like,
They did say that.
I took that as an extra compliment. It's like, all right, they're not even young men in this game.
I take that as an insult. I'm so young.
We didn't even grow up with this shit. And we know how to rule it. No, it's just those things are the best. And I was talking with Brian Knights last night before I went to bed, and I'm assuming was pretty hammered and just loving everything.
He lost his license.
Really?
Yeah, he lost an ear pod and a driver's license. So far, that's what we know is gone from his night.
Just insane. But he was talking and he was thanking me and saying, I appreciate this. And I like want to like I'm not trying to shout through Twitter. It's like, but dude, you earned this. Like, we didn't do anything. We set the stage. You got up on the stage and you fucking did it. Like everyone that was in this tournament that created content that like went through the tournament, added to it. You guys are the stars. We are not the stars. We are only the hosts. We are the ones that we threw the party because we had the room and the beer, and you just showed up. Right. And then you're the ones that have made the party. So I just want to make sure that no one gets that twisted. We're not taking credit for anything that Brian Knights or Alyssa did yesterday. We didn't do nothing. We set the stage. You did it.
Or any of the people in the tournament created great content, which we'll talk about a little more later. But yes,
exactly. But so yeah, that was my great day. End of March, fucking fantabulous. I am happy. Something horrible awful is probably going to happen in April because of this. That's going to counteract, the world. But I look forward to that happening. Chorizo, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. My suck summer, I do have to report though. I'm having a lost palate. Still not my favorite.
You love
I'm not but I only have one, so I think it's going to work out well. Nice. Because like it's just a lot of flavor to try and do all at once. But guys, I'm going to power through because I'm a professional and I'm going to drink this beer and enjoy it.
Allegedly.
So, Beef, you didn't want to talk about the Oscars. I need to talk about the Oscars. All right. I got to talk about this. I'm sorry. I can't hold back on this because, and I'm going to mess up this guy's name, but Troy Kotsur became the second deaf actor in history to win an Oscar and the first in his category.
Okay.
But why I love this guy is he was a Tusken Raider on The Mandalorian, but he also helped them develop the sign language for it. And I was thinking, like, if we were on some kind of show, like what would we do like an extra thing that we would help out with, right? And I was like, maybe I could help out with like some of the music or something, right? And Beef, you could probably help out with like, because you do such a great job on our outlines, like outlining the day or like coming up with, like what we should be doing during the day. And I thought MSS would sell off all the fucking props. Like he would just like, it would be like in Goodfellas. They'd wheel it in one side and he's wheeling it out the other side. It's amazing. So like, that's kind of what I was thinking, but it was exciting. Cause it's like, to me, it's really cool. Cause it's a guy who is involved in Star Wars and he gets this great honor. I had no idea any of this stuff. So then you get to hear about this behind the scenes shit that he was doing. But speaking of Star Wars and speaking of my love for it and speaking of, being a Southsider, we put together a little shirt that's up right now. We're probably going to get sued. So buy it now before we do.
Yeah.
It is the Southside shirt.
Yes.
So you go to our site right now, FromThe108.com, click on the merch. Go over, buy one of these, buy 10 of these, as many as you want. Pre-order, so whatever sizes you want, we got them all up there. Just go nuts. Get them for you, your friends. Everyone on the South Side should own one of these, especially if they're a Star Wars fan. All right, that's my little spiel on that.
Hold on. Before we move past that, I want to remind people that pre-orders take 2 to 3 weeks to get it in your hands, okay? The one time I ordered the green shirt and they turned it around in 2 days, I can't expect that every time. Willing to wait 2 to 3 weeks. It's going to be fucking cold for 2 to 3 more weeks, so you're probably not going to need a t-shirt, but just, whatever. I got sizes small to 6XL up there. It's going to be a Hanes Beefy tee. It's a very nice soft tee, just like the Wave Sucks. If you got the new Wave Sucks t-shirt or any of the new merch that we restock, that's the shirt it is. It is a classic fit. It is not a tight fit. It is not an athletic cut. So there you go.
And importantly, we're only running this through Tuesday.
Yes.
Because we got to get we got to get these in your hands before May the 4th. That's the key to the whole transaction here. So only till Tuesday. So, get them this weekend. In fact, go get them right now.
That's when the Wookiees turn into gremlins. Yep.
That is exactly when.
That's correct.
And that's exactly what happens. Now, my suck summer, I got a huge favor to ask you.
Really?
Did you pay some bills?
For sure. Spring is right around the corner. And with the warming weather comes fresh starts, new beginnings, and motherfucking baseball. Why not show up in Lot B with a brand new Mazda CX-50? According to those experts over at Road and Track, the 2023 Mazda CX-50 is a better Subaru Outback. Say what? And why is that? Plenty of reasons, but let's just focus on a few. First, they kept it old school. While people are forced into cars and SUVs with tons of graphic interfaces, Mazda has stuck with their throwback interior motifs. Their interior looks like the inside of an SUV, not like an office cubicle. Straightforward controls and displays that keep the driver's eyes up and focused on the road. It's almost like Mazda still believes in driving. The mechanical substance is old school too. It's not a hybrid. It's not all electric. It has but one conventional 12-volt battery that has the most important duty of starting either the available 4-cylinder internal combustion engines, one turbocharged, and one breathing in an atmosphere unassisted. Curious and want to know more? Check out the all-new Mazda CX-50 on their website, www.mazdaoforlandpark.com. Or maybe you're looking for something different. They have all sorts of options available. Give them a follow on Twitter at ZoomZoomNation, as they are known to give away tickets and parking for Sox games. And remember, as always, $500 off for Sox fans. Mazda of Orland Park, home of the Zoom Zoom Nation. 8910 West 159th Street, Orland Park, 708-444-3200. Zoom Zoom.
Ooh,
That car looks awesome.
It's dope, dude.
And now,
literally,
I'm a Mazda owner, so what
do you have? You have the CX-30, right?
I have the 30. That thing looks fucking way nicer than my car.
This is like it's supposed to
got some considerations to make here.
It's supposed to replace the CX-5, but they haven't got rid of the CX-5. It's the same size, but apparently it has a higher ground clearance and it's bigger overall. They show you doing like all these things with the car, like going to go canoeing or something and put the fucking kayak up on your roof, or you got all the shit there. I'm like, man, you could probably fit a shitload of fucking coolers in the back of that and roll in and throw one of the best kick-ass tailgates fucking ever, baby. So we might have to talk to our guys down at Mazda to let us borrow one just to drive it over, have somebody sober drive us over there and have a great killer tailgate.
Sounds awesome.
That would be pretty fun, though, right? Like if we had a line of fucking Mazdas out there, that would be.
Brian's message about his pickup truck.
Can I bring that back? Curb stomp your pussy ass Mazda. Bullshit. Let's see it, Brian.
There's no way I would catch up to the Mazda. Mazda flies.
Let me tell you something, Treasy. I'm not taking any shade from a motherfucker with a perm. I'm sorry. We're
man.
doing it, right? I
you know what?
Perm, but that's enough shit talk. All right.
You know
he
what?
Shaved his beard off too. He's corporate as fuck now. Corporate as fuck perm guy. Way to go, Brian.
He dropped the Bill S. Preston with the perm from Lost Boys, and now I'm a little scared that Brian might be a vampire. So I'm not gonna fuck with it. I don't want him ripping the top of my car off and biting into my head. All right.
Don't invite him in your house. That's for sure.
I'm only inviting him to. I'm only inviting him to day games, man. That's all I want to see him at.
You don't show up, you know what's going on. This might be a good rule of thumb in general. Never fight a man.
Oh man,
that's probably a good choice. Actually,
that is a fucking great rule. Like
you think about it the other way, but it's I'm sure that's the case.
Think about it this way, Beef.
Yeah,
you're at a bar, and some guy starts giving you shit, and he's got a big ass perm.
Yeah,
the amount of confidence this motherfucker is brimming with. There's no way you want to fuck with that.
Yeah,
this is he knows at least 3 types of martial arts because he wouldn't be fucking around like that if he didn't.
It's true.
All right.
Just say something, bitch. Look at my perm.
Speaking of fucking around, the White Sox fucked around and got rid of Goose Island this week. There's a big beer announcement.
They sure did.
So I'm going to give this to my Sox Summer because my Sox Summer knows more about beer and knows more about all of this shit than me and Beef. So I'm just going to hand it off. You go crazy, and we'll try and jump in when we can.
Okay. Well, first off, what you just said is kind of irks me too. I keep hearing Goose got dropped by the Sox, or the Sox, gave up on Goose or something. That's not the case. Goose was outbid by, and let me tell you, I don't have official numbers, but I'm pretty sure I know what the officials' numbers are, and those were a lot of money, and that was not what anybody was paying the last 4 years. Okay, so Miller, while Miller is back, and it's not even Miller anymore, it's Molson Coors. So we'll stick with the Canadian. We'll call it the Canadian.
MSS. So I heard that Goose actually offered more as long as the Sox didn't get injured.
Yeah, well, that cannot be confirmed. We'll have to talk to Shane later because he seems to have some good sources on all this shit too. So anyway, I want to make sure that everybody knows they paid up to be the official beer and craft sponsor of the Chicago White Sox. They did not, or were not given a gift. They were not said, "Oh, we love each other for the last 30 years, and then we fought for 4 years. Let's get remarried." No. They came back with a big bags of money and said, "Please, we want to cash in on this because we fucked up." So anyway, we'll go on from that. Now, if you've been living under a rock and don't know what happened, right? The Goose Island was outbid by Molson Coors. The Goose Island is now going to be called the Miller Lite Landing. Now, I don't know if the water's gone, if the water stays. I don't know. But I can confirm
bigger fence
from my sources that the Goose is 100% gone and no longer resides at the rink.
Wow.
It is not on the loaf deck. It is not on the loaf patio. It is not close to the loaf place. But if it can get mobile, apparently we might get to look at it again up close and personal.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't want it on my property. All right?
I know.
I don't want it on my property.
I want it on my balcony. I want an 800-pound goose head on my balcony.
I love it, but I don't want it on. I got mainly to worry about myself.
Mainly because I want my HOA to come to me and be like, you can't have a gigantic goose head on your balcony. And I'll say, where the fuck is that in the bylaws?
You're circling parts of the agreement. Like, where is it? I don't see it.
Don't fuck with my religious freedom, all right?
We're talking about getting some solar panels. I would love to have a goose attached to the house with the too. So I will actually take it
like a windmill goose.
Yeah, I know how much that thing costs because I was told it's a lot. So I don't think I can afford it, and I don't think they're giving it away. It is a nice piece, though. It would be a good discussion piece. I can make a little Zen rock garden with the goose in the back, but but anyway, we'll see what happens. Now, according to my source, who is not Shane Reardon, the craft cave will be similar. It is going to still have 60 to 70 or 70 to 80 craft choices that are local kind of to the Chicago area, I guess. That wasn't confirmed, but I'm guessing that's how it usually was. We didn't really go down there all that much because there was a ghost cart right next to us, and we liked the guys.
Yeah, I was going to say, not going to lie, we don't hit the craft cave very much because you miss a good chunk of the game trying to get down there and then wait in line and all that stuff.
So here's the problem with the craft cave and why this is not an option for me. All right. First, I'll fall down the stairs. But second,
allegedly,
the other thing that sucks about the craft cave is half the year they got the little gate closed. So if I wanted to go up, I got to go all the way up, high five Wally in the bathroom, come down the other side and get in there. And so that sucks. But the other thing, the real reason I don't go down there is it's a single line. And it's the worst line ever because there's you ever go to McDonald's and someone's looking at the menu like they've never fucking seen a McDonald's menu?
Oh yeah.
Every person in front of you is like that because they're like, I'm looking at all these beers, but I'm also not letting you go by me. So I'm saving they're boxing me out like I'm going for a board.
Yeah.
And at the same time, they're not being decisive, right? And then there's only one person at the counter. Right? You can't tip and skip around that or anything. You got no chance. So they need to fix that if they're going to say that that's the place to go for craft beer because I ain't going.
It's been rebranded obviously as the Leinenkugel's Craft Lodge, because I don't know if you guys know about the Leinenkugels brand, but there's a bunch of canoe shit, Native American imagery stuff on there. So that feel, I'm assuming the vibe down there is going to be the same, which was like a kick-ass, amazing basement bar feel. Like you had fried food going there, and then this huge bar, a shitload of pissers, and some neons. So I don't think that's going to change too much. Like not saying they're going to put a big moose head up or something to like make it more craft lodgy or more lodgy. But well, who knows? Maybe.
I need to respond to Beer Garden Jim real quick. He says you got to know what you want and just go past them. And so here's the problem, Jim. Well, my juicy double usually helps me get into places. It hurts me in this situation trying to get around people. Having a huge ass is not always great for sneaking around. Just to let you know.
And also, Jim, and I know like this whole thing, but you're going to 70 some games a year. It's not fun to go down there 5 times a game, blah blah blah. No. It's like it's the Midwest beer stand helps out a lot in that regard, which I've heard through the grapevine that is still the same up there. In left field, not so much. I heard that has been changed, but the right field still has the Midwest beer stand, which is the #1 profiting beer stand according to my sources within the park. I don't know why, but it's right next to 108. Who knows? I don't know.
I just thought of something, guys. I think this is the Sox should jump on this idea. I just thought of it right now. The Sox should do a deal with like one of those places like Getter or Uber Eats or one of those, and just have people ready on the go that'll just go to whatever stand you want and go get you the specialty items. Because I know they got like delivery to the seats, but it's like you can order only a hot dog or 47 Coronas. So I want, hey, here's the beers that I want from the Craft Cave. Go down there and get them for me while I watch this game. And I will pay. I will pay a premium for that. Let's do it. Let's do it, Sox. It's another sponsorship deal you can get. It's awesome.
See, that was one of the duties that we were requiring our intern to do, but we intern thing one time and that failed very badly, so we're not doing that again.
Yeah, the 108 intern program has been canceled. Yeah,
it's been fun.
Unfortunately,
unless someone would like to join and do exactly what I just described.
Yes,
but for no premium.
No premium. All right, so not only is Goose Island gone and Goose Beer is gone, another casualty is the Revolution tap room. So the Sox social tap room, as they call it. Yep. Gone. No more limited draft when we get our free shit, Loaf. Like when we go,
oh man, I know,
get our free stuff for checking in.
That was always the best.
We're not gonna get a nice limited draft.
Go up there and get a hat, and then whatever special rev thing they had, we always do that, man. That was fun.
That was the fun thing, right? We because we like to try different shit, especially if they had like a shout or like one of those like the hazy beers, and they had some sour beers up there every so often.
Yeah, fucking right.
Shit. Because we like to do everything. We're not all 100% Goose 100% of the time, but when we're up there and we're in the mood, we fucking popped on it. Now it is being rebranded and taken over by the Vizzy Hard Seltzer brand. Okay, so I'm not sure exactly what that means, but I'm guessing it includes a bunch of bright colors and beach themes. Okay, that's all I think about when I hear that. I hear Virginia Slim cigarettes.
Ooh, yeah,
seltzers, and that
come a long way, baby.
Hang on. Is that the Guild Lounge? Is this not a Guild Lounge? I gotta.
It might be.
It might be. Where there's originals. I'm seeing some potential here. I'm not a seltzer guy, and not because I don't like them. They taste good, but something about them, what they do to me, they're not. It's no good. Whatever it is, I shouldn't put whatever that is in my body. Like I know that.
It's malt liquor, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
I stopped drinking malt liquor when I was. Well, but I kind of stopped drinking it. But so I gotta say, I think Cornsey will be a big fan of the Vizzy thing, and I hope that the social lounge is still there. Because if it is,
I hope so too.
I'll be able to get my stuff because I never go up there. But when Cornsey goes to get a Vizzy, I could go like, hey, just take my phone and just
go get me a hat.
Get me that hat that I'm not gonna wear.
Please. Or you'll just give to me and we'll throw in a 108.
Go up there and get the hats, and then next week we give them all of my sex summer.
I have a shitload of Vizzy upstairs because they sell it at Costco, and the lady said one time that she likes it, so I bought a big case of it. And much like you, Loaf, I don't like the way it treats me. I can't drink 6 of them. It's just not.
No, it's not good
in me. I'd rather have two whiskeys, 2 bourbons. Like I'd rather do that than go on to that kind of shit. So anyway,
I should bring this up right now while we're in the booze conversation. If anyone's got a tequila guy or gal in the craft cave or anywhere else in the stadium, let me know, because I need to get a tequa person. We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna make this happen.
That is something that I think was like kind of a good, like a beneficial thing with it not being gone. It was like how we don't have to drink beer at the ballpark anymore. It isn't required that we sit there and drink beer. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Contractually obligated to drink nothing but
yes. First off, I don't want to say that because I don't think I could get contractually obligated. Oh, I did it.
Look, Baloney, we used to do this shit, okay? We used to load up the cargo shorts with beers. That was back in the day. You can't do that shit anymore.
I feel like the metal detectors would catch that.
You're not gonna
and I'd be clanking around if I brought bottles in.
But that would be days when no one's at the park. That's when you could bring that.
Now, is it in addition to the Vizzy stuff and the Leinenkugels and the Miller Lite, the Molson Coors folks also mentioned that they have a non-alcoholic drink called Zoa. Or Zoa, I don't know, energy drink, which is co-founded by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And I cannot wait till they use my government name, MSS, government last name. Like, I want to be that point. I will get to that point in my career at some point, and it will happen. Like, when I'm like up on a company website.
What's the tipping point for him to use his real name with the MSS in the middle? That's
can't we call you My Stocks?
Not yet.
Summer.
That's good. I don't want to be The Rock though. I want to be MSN. So anyway, they're gonna have a non-alcoholic drink, energy drink. I'm sure it's chock full of sugar. Maybe not. The Rock is a workout guy. Maybe it's a 0 sugar thing. But anyway, if there's anything a drunk MSS needs around him is a hyped up non-drunk person. So thank you for bringing in some energy drinks to keep people awake, to yell all during the game. I feel like the wave sightings are going to go way the fuck up with people all hopped up on Zoa. So we'll see. Now,
Brandon Stokes, you watch your fucking mouth, all right? Tequila is always a good idea.
Now
I should sneak in a mouthful of tequila. That's a great idea, actually.
It's every day.
Or I'll just put in Wally's prison wallet.
I am definitely buying.
You could definitely sneak in hard liquor. No, I'm not saying you should, because that's not right, and you absolutely should not, because that's against the rules.
It's a sin.
But you could, and you could probably pretty easily.
Man, I tell you, Gabe is very active tonight in the chat, and I love it. I
think he's suspended from Twitter right now. So that's
my god!
Oh, no. How do you suspend Gabe from Twitter?
I don't know. I don't get the whole story. I'm not sure. I'm trying to follow
MSS. So one thing that I wanted to bring up on this, is so the Goose is going to be gone, which was a spot that we would hit all the time, right? You're heading up to the bathroom, you're coming back. Hopefully, you're getting on the way back, but I think what we're not thinking about when we're talking about this is that
I guess
the thing that we're not talking about when we're thinking about this is last year we didn't have vendors for like almost the whole season.
Yes.
And the previous year we just didn't even have a season. So 2019 was really the last time that we had vendors all the time. And when you try and think back to that, I know that feels like 100 years ago, but like we were mostly vendor beer. Like it would take a lot for us to go say, let's go to one of these things, unless we are on our way in or on our way back from the bathroom or something. So like, I think we're going to go mostly vendor through the year. I don't know how much we're going to notice the change.
Well, so I agree with you. And I think here's one thing that I would support, hopefully through a vendor. Like before, the options were a light or an MGD. Okay. And I'm not down with either of those two. If they throw in a High Life, I might be okay with the High Life.
Right there.
High Life, it's okay. It's a good drinking beer for a game. So if there's going to be a 16er of High Life, that's fine. A 19.2, 19.9, I'll take that.
That'd be nice.
I don't know. So I'm not sure how that's all going down. You know, I'm not going to put a lot of faith in the Sox to do that, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
You know what'd be awesome? Those 24-ounce Tecates? Like,
High Life in that. Oh, baby.
Well, I meant Tecate.
Tecate, yeah.
I don't know who.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. If vendors are coming back, we need a little special treatment, as we haven't had it in a long time. On them hot days, I need a bag of ice. You know, we need an old school. Trees, you remember when we get the bag of ice and people were looking at us like,
so,
who the fuck are you guys? You got your shit on ice.
We won't name the vendor to get him in trouble, but what would happen would be we'd order a whole bunch of beers, and the vendor would come, though, with a bag of ice, like a big Ziploc bag of ice, and he would just shove them all in there, unopened, and just put them in between us. Yeah, and then you just pick from those for a little while. You don't work there no more. It's fine.
Don't talk about it. Anyway, but yeah, no, I think that would be one thing that we could potentially drink from a vendor. And I know, yeah, and all of the thing we probably are still going to have Modelo and Corona. So like, I mean, that's another one that we drink a lot of anyway. I think I drank 87 Coronas last Saturday. So I still like Corona apparently. Now, as far as like personal thoughts on this, I think the three of us are pretty aligned that we're a little bummed out that, like, you know, one of our sponsors for like the last, 4 years, this would have been our fourth season. I think it's our fourth year.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Is no longer the official beer of the team. And like, and as far as our relationship with Goose going forward, that's still like up in the air. We're having talks, and that will happen soon. And when we figure out the details, we will let you know what's going on. We obviously want to keep the relationship going and keep pushing forward on something. And we think we have something to offer the Goose Island people. So that's something. So another casualty, Sox Golden Ale, that's gone. Like I'm sure everybody by now, that was one of the first things that hit the market or hit the Twitters. Sox Golden Ale is done. So like, if you like
someone about to break in here and rob me, does they know I got
it? Like get out to your Jewels, your Bennies, and fucking buy that shit because it's gone. And that will keep. If you keep it cold, like it'll keep probably for a year. Like I wouldn't worry about that. I would not drink Next Coast as much, but
it's like Ross and Monica. Are we on a break?
Yeah, we're on a break.
We are not on a break.
We are not on a break.
Now, I promised to bring a little heat tonight, and I get lazy, but I have some good general thoughts. And my first thought was fucking goddamn Austin Dizek. Okay.
Yes.
Fuck Austin. Fuck this Goose, 312 Shandy. The line of Kugels is so much better. The fuck it is. Okay. A Shandy, just in general, you can only have like one or two of those. Ain't no one drinking more than one or two Shandies.
That's true. That's tough.
And I feel like with the 312 back over the line of Kugels, like the line of Kugels Shandy was just like straight lemon. Is from what I remember. I haven't had it in forever. Like I stopped drinking the lemon a long time ago. Yeah. Like I'm more of a grapefruit guy. I was very excited to try the 312 grapefruit Shandy, but I was out of town for 312 days.
More of a pineapple guy, like pineapple on his porch.
Pineapple. That's why it's there. Yeah. So anyway,
I was excited about his day so far today.
Like Dizek, I'm not getting behind your bullshit slander of 312 Shandy. The wife loves it, and it's probably not just because she gets free ones. I think she loves it just because. Also, people are acting like Goose Island isn't a local thing. It's not a local whatever. They're like, they're owned by ABBEV, so they're not local. Bullshit. I pick up fucking beer up on Fulton, okay? And some motherfucker on Twitter was like, the fucking 312's making a Hackensack, New Jersey. Where the fuck do you think they make Miller Lite? You think they make Miller Lite like over next to the goddamn stadium? No, I don't even know where they make it. It could be Canadian for all I know. This shit could be imported. I'm not sure because I'm too lazy to check. But the point is not like we're replacing a huge major beer company with a local place. We're replacing a major with a fucking even bigger major. Like, it's just insanity. Like, it blows my mind. And this guy was yelling at me while I'm in Nashville trying to enjoy shitty cover band country music with my wife while I'm drinking tons of Corona because you couldn't find Goose Island anywhere because it's not a goddamn national thing. It is more of a local thing. But anyway, I'm sitting there trying to enjoy it, and he's like telling me all this bullshit about God knows what. You can only get 312. You can only get Green Line. You can only get this out in the burbs. And I'm like, no, you can't, because I know Neon Beer Hugs is fucking everywhere. You can get that anywhere. And that is a fabulous example of a crafty beer that is released by Goose Island. Another one was the Sox Golden Ale, which you cannot get anymore because it's going out of style. But it was somewhere that you could go somewhere and pick up a different beer. Okay. And now, let me get into this too. And I think this is something that needs to be said. People are like, well, Goose Island isn't craft. And then they point to the 312 and the Green Line and the Sox Golden Ale. At some point, you want to have a drinking beer, a beer that people are going to drink. Do you want to have people come over and try craftier beers? And a beer like a 312, a Green Line, or even the Golden Ale gives a guy a feeling that he's trying out some type of a craft beer without going, hey, this is 7-time triple hop, double, like fucking God knows, like brewed in a bathtub with 7 different kinds of mint eucalyptus leaves. Like it's something easy, and it was something that another company that we drank out of business, Baderbrau, was doing, trying to bring a lager beer to a huge audience. And they're like, Chicago Pilsner is very reminiscent of like the Golden Ale, same type of deal. An easy, crushable, drinkable beer that you can have 15 of them, but it was a local brew, not something you can get in every fucking country, in every fucking state, in every fucking city, everywhere. Now, I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to tell you that 312 is a craft beer. It probably isn't. Okay? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. New Jersey. I don't give a fuck if it's made in Chicago. I like what I like. I like the stuff that they got up at Fulton. I like the stuff that I can find at the fucking local Jewel. I like the Lost Palette. I like fucking Next Coast IPA. I like the Date Detector. I like all that shit that you can find fucking in a lot of places. So, folks, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to complain and say that Miller Lite's going to ruin everything at the park, because they probably won't. I'm not going to say that we're never going to drink beer at the game again, because we definitely are. So I am just saying that I just wish that I wish it was our guys. I wish our guys were the guys going forward, the people that believe in the fans, that are putting money into fan podcasts, took us out to the bars, spread the word of the 108, funded us to do this kind of shit. Just gave us money to fucking put on a tournament along with Wings and Rings so that we don't have to worry about like saying, hey, tip us $5, join our Patreon. Okay. They gave us some money to cover the cost to let us have fun and not have to worry about it. And so we don't look like total garbage or sound like total garbage when you do this shit. So I thank Goose Island. I think Goose Island and the Sox relationship was great. I think the Golden Ale finally having a White Sox branded beer to hold was something that was just awesome. A can that spoke something. It spoke the South Side. It looked fucking tough. It was just fun. I'm sad that they're gone. But I have a lot of love for those guys. They're very nice, very friendly, and let us do whatever the fuck we wanted to do. So I appreciate the last 4 years with Goose, and hopefully we continue to go forward. Now, you guys have some thoughts, or did I say everything?
You said it all, my friend. You said it all.
Yeah, I mean, I the only caveat I was going to bring up to the Goose, having Goose up there. The only issue I ever had with the cart, the train car, they were always out of the shit that we wanted.
Yeah.
Paper Umbrella was never in there. The Dank Detector was rarely in there. Like, it felt like they ran through the newer shit faster. I know our man K-Dog, he was telling me the other day, man, where's SPF been, man? SPF was barely there during the summer. So, that was the only downfall. Otherwise, it was great to be able to go there and get some variety, get something different. It was right by our seats. It was tremendous.
And that was something that is probably not going to change, because these guys have always ordered beer. Like, they order one time during the season and then they go with it, because you have a Miller Lite or whatever that will hold all day. A lot of those beers do not hold, and they do not keep. unlike what Loaf will try to tell you, it is not great to have a Next Coast IPA that's been sitting there for 6 months in the sun. It's not the best.
I've had 3 of them.
So,
they're pretty good. I mean, like this.
You had Goose in there that was trying to, and the distributor, hopefully, God, I hope the distributor was like trying to like switch up some of this shit. So it's possible that Goose is still going to be in the park in different places, and it'll be a goose hunt to find it.
We need that person to run the park for us. That's what we need.
Yes.
That's right.
No, I mean, I think you said it all, man. And I don't really disagree with anything you said. I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss it. But like I said, I think the vendors will take the pain away just a little bit there. It'll be fine. But I'm hoping that we could still get some craft beer up at our stand that's been there, all last year. Was really great. I'm hoping that that's still going to be in business. And I want to see what they do with this cart. I want to see what that becomes. If it just becomes like a silver bullet train serving Coors Light, I'm out. But we'll see what they do with it.
I mean, I kind of look at it like this, boys. I look at every season that we go into as a little bit of an adventure. Remember, there was that one year where we found that one stand that was selling like anti-hero 24-ounce anti-heroes for like $11. It was like some ridiculous. It just didn't make sense, and we would always buy there until they nixed that deal out. We like to.
We got to find that again.
There. We got to find those things out there, and we weren't as motivated to do so because we had all those creature comforts right there with us. So now I think we'll be more aggressive to finding some of those types of things that are out there.
Finding a 64-ounce Mickey's stand would be legit. But also, I did want to mention one thing. So, one thing that is possibly coming back, if as this all goes through, that I would like to see back that they used to have. Was in center field, they used to have this liney stand where they did like a mix and match.
I don't think they do it anymore. Yeah.
No, they don't do it anymore. But I'm saying now that Miller's back, like, what if they brought that back? I would like that stand to exist again.
That was like, and I was going to bring that up in the beginning when you were talking about it. That was one, like, we were like, hey, you want to get one of those special beers? And we would get like the honey bear,
Mix them,
they would mix 2 together. And then I know for a while the wife was drinking the sunset, the blueberry one, and the lemon. So it was like a blueberry lemon shandy.
Strawberry lemonade, you're thinking of.
Yeah.
It was like a strawberry or raspberry lemonade or something.
Yeah,
right?
It was like a little mixy thing. And that was like in the preemptive crafty times.
Right.
They
This was
didn't really have a lot of craft there at that point.
This was like 2010, man. It was a long time.
Yeah. When we first started like going to games again.
I was beautiful back then. I could have been a model.
What do you mean? You're not still?
You were.
Now I'm handsome.
You're a silver daddy, baby. You're silver daddy.
I'm a handsome old man now. I used to be a beautiful young buck.
Aged.
Wow.
Plum pine quarters, I hear.
Always. The backfield was always in motion.
Now that I believe.
All right,
Sir Mix-a-Lot would sing a soundtrack to your ass.
Oh my God!
That's what he would do.
Let's talk a little 108 tourney beef. You want to get into it, man? Tell us,
do it, baby.
Your thoughts. Or actually,
I'm gonna. Let's have a.
I'll let you lead it.
Let's do a little free for all. I've got some ideas here, some stuff we'll jump into. A couple things on the 108 tourney. I thought it was a rousing success. I think it was the best one we've had so far. Even though I think it was probably second best in overall numbers, like in the 5 years that we've done it. For our back end numbers, I think it was. We end up?
It was
close,
technically.
though, right?
It was technically, but what we failed to remember about last year when we were looking at the numbers was that we had like 400 play-in games. So like
we had that, and the other caveat to it,
and there was way more.
The post games were on Twitter. So the post games were in those numbers and not in the YouTube numbers like they are now. So the fact they're separate, I think probably if we added it all, it was a better year. So best year that it's been, and the content was crazy. And I wanted to get your guys' thoughts first before I jump into a few different categories here. I said I had no notes for the show. I did just jot down a few things on this paper to make sure I kind of stay on path here, but I took no notes for the show. But I want to get your thoughts. So Treasy, you first. What did you think of this year's tournament, and then MSS after you?
So one thing I liked about this year's tournament was that, there's new things that come out every year, right? Like new technologies that exist. And like the fact that Twitter Spaces was used this year, I was a big fan of.
Yep.
I've noticed that some of the people joining White Sox Twitter or younger in White Sox Twitter are using TikTok a little bit. I want to see how that kind of flows into next year's stuff.
Yeah.
But like the new versions of content that are getting brought in, and people doing videos, always awesome. And god damn it, like I can't even keep up with what people are chugging now, man. Like like because Summer George already with the Four Locos, man. That's already something. But like, god damn it, Roxy, 19-ounce hazies. My God,
insane.
Like I'm proud of you and scared for you. Like at the same time, like because like I know like if I did that, I would be like, oh my God, that was great, and then I'd be like, I am annihilated immediately. But yeah, I think there's just like a lot of creative stuff, and I love all of it. I want to see what kind of comes next because there's so many different ways to communicate now. How about you?
MSS.
I feel like as far as content, like I feel like this year you have more and more people getting it, like getting what they need to do, getting like how they can get a vote, right? Like, and chugging seems to be the number one thing. But they're doing the videos, more people doing like interactive stuff, like Knights was doing some of the same shit, like giving away stuff, and just like that's the kind of thing, and nothing fabulous. Like Matt Lato signed ball. No one wants that. But people are like, I need that fucking ball.
Kevin Kittle.
Kevin Kittle.
Kevin Kittle. Right? Like this, all these things.
So funny.
Like, I think that they're like, people just are like, they know like how to pander for a good fucking vote now. And I liked it. I liked George's theatrics are somewhat unmatched, though.
Dude, I was really worried about him. I was really worried about him. Like when he was obviously getting a little drunk, and then he's got the sword, but his hand is on the other side.
It's right there.
He's got to kind of like right in there. I was like, dude, just move your hand. I'm like yelling at the screen, move your hand.
Yeah,
he's a
you guys
bring
up some great points on the content. One thing about the content is it moved away from cameos more, and it moved towards people making their own videos. Like Jordan Lazowski would lead off his day every day with a canned video, and it was something that he spent a bunch of time putting together. It wasn't like me or you, like POV style MSS talking in the thing for 30 seconds. This was some shit that you had to put together and had different visions behind it or whatever. So I kind of noticed a shift from that. And you're right, people are showing kind of special skills. There's the standard chug thing, but then people are starting to hit bongs, and then you're having sort of live action videos. Like Wet Bandit was doing a lot of the stuff where you can't see his face, and he's doing all these different signs and stuff.
I liked his videos a lot.
Yeah, so people are getting really creative with kind of stylistically how they're going to do it. I agree with you on Brian Knights doing the Twitter Spaces. I mean, no one was really doing that to this point. One thing that's starting to peak, and I think it's something that we'll see a lot more of in 2023, if you're not in the tournament, is K-Fid started this last year where he did a video where he said who he's going to endorse. And there was another guy, I'm trying to remember who it was, Northwest Indiana guy, who would do his where he would be talking in one kind of, he would have a split screen, and then he'd be showing who he's voting for. And he would do a quick rundown, 90 seconds. When he get to it, and I forget the guy's handle, but it was really funny. I was like, oh, this is good stuff. I think you're going to start seeing people, especially people with even moderate followings who aren't in there, start taking the content by storm that aren't, they're not even a contestant, but just backing people in a way that is hilarious and awesome. But no, I mean, people were willing to do stunts, and people were willing to reach out to popular friends, and the content was extremely interesting this year. And I agree with you, Treasy. I think TikTok is probably going to make a move in there. And I think you're going to see some stuff fade next year and some stuff come on that we're just not we're not hip to, you mentioned the thing with the sword. Summer George's been doing that. MSS, you're like, he's kind of ahead of everybody else. Some people are going to start catching up. Some people will do other talented shit that isn't exactly just chugging booze, but is like, oh shit, that person can do that thing, you know, and I think you're going to start seeing more of that stuff. One thing I wanted to bring up that I think we got really right was Steve O as the co-host of the
he was
Reveal
great
show. He was really good. And you know, we had Mr. Hand, who's one of our dear friends, do the show with us for a few years. The reason why I changed it to Steve O is Steve O's younger and knows the field a little bit more. And he was extremely prepared to go over all the matchups. And he had long thoughts on a bunch of different things. So even though
he was also extremely drunk, which is not a minus.
No, that was fine. He had a gimmick and everything, and
very positive.
And his performance was terrific, and I think I hope it doesn't get lost because it was at the very beginning of the 3 weeks, and it's like that was really good to bring it in. And it's one of our most watched videos on YouTube. You can go check it out right now if you want to. Like he was absolutely terrific. So I think for sure, I barring he and I don't get into another hassle like we did at the 108 day. Well, I'll probably bring him back as the co-host again. I really enjoyed his content there. Another thing on the content side, boys. I realized two things. One, there's certain people you got to fucking ruffle their feathers. I got to provoke them. I got to work my own bracket here to get them to produce. I got to light a fire under their fucking ass. And a good example of that was Buzz on Tap. Okay. Buzz doesn't always engage so hard. But this year I gave him those, I said, I wasn't sure about this guy, whatever. And then he took my words and Steve O's words and printed them out and burned them in the sink. And he committed to the content and he got to the regional finals.
He was really good.
Yeah, he was good. So and he is good and people like him. And if he engages, that's terrific for him. So I think I got to take it upon myself in certain instances to push their buttons a little bit because I know we can get more out of them. Another thing. Oh, go ahead.
I don't disagree. And text me that just in case I'm not on Twitter at that time. Like text me. I'll remember to do it.
Yeah, you got it. Another thing I noticed too was certain people, you got to get them in a real competition for them to really show out. So I noticed this particularly with Tom Paints. Tom Paints didn't do shit for any of his brackets when he was winning 63 to 37%. When he was down 54-46, motherfucker was giving paintings away and NFTs and all kinds of shit. So and you even saw it with some other people. Like I saw that with Crystal O'Keefe. She didn't do too much until it was a really competitive race, and then she was like chugging I don't know what it was, a protein shake or something.
That was awesome. Yeah.
It was something that was like, wow, I can't believe someone's actually chugging this. It seems unlike to be chugged, but yeah. So I think there's a certain sector of us that are only competitive when you get in that spot. Like they're not going to just naturally go do it. You got to push them with their matchup.
Right.
Now, I can't tell them to do it, but if their matchup gets them to do it. So it's kind of pushing me in a certain direction for the 2023 field as I look at some of these ideas here.
So Beef, you mentioned the field, and I want to give one comment on the field that I think, because you get so little right because you're terrible at everything you do.
Yes.
Sorry, I got to knock you down a couple pegs. But the one thing that I think you really got right was the 108 bracket. And I really enjoyed that bracket. And I mentioned this on the recap last night, but I think it's worth re-mentioning that group of people, which is about 16 people, or exactly 16 people. It's not about.
Yep.
They went from like just over 10,000 combined followers to just under 12,000 combined followers. So like I think it was like a 1,850 follower gain for the 16 people, which is awesome. And then like I said, with 4 of them are now over 1,000, which is excellent, which is the point.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's like this is the group of people that we were like, these are all great follows. Why aren't you following these people? And people did. And so like, I hope that people, get to enjoy their stuff. And I think that, that's a good way to like kind of keep growing, because like the problem is it's like, people fade in and out of White Sox Twitter. Yep. And so, the people that are maybe newer don't have as many followers. We gotta pump them up and get them more followers.
Yeah. And that's, other than like Loaf wanting total turmoil within White Sox Twitter, his main point of doing this is to get people to notice other people and to recognize other talents. Like the people, if somebody is doing something that's funny that we find is funny, and they only have 600 people following them, then we're definitely gonna promote that person and get in there. It's like that's something that is always been like a goal. I feel like is to get more people, more looks, because if everybody else does well, then we do well. So that's just the way it is. If we get White Sox Twitter bigger, then we're all winners. So
and it's more fun, man. It's just a lot more interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. And MSS, I'm not going for turmoil, but you do like some excitement. You do want a little, it's a little conflict. So Tracy brings up the point about the 1,000 or less. I think for sure that's going to stay. I mean, that'll be part of the bracket next year. I also think I'm probably gonna do a bracket of under 1,000 and a bracket of under 500 next year. And I've already started weeding the brackets. And one idea that I've kind of had, and we talked briefly about this. I'm gonna chop out a chunk of people who maybe have a fair amount of followers but don't engage the tournament very much.
Yeah,
and sort of push more towards content and less towards follower count. Just overall in the tournament, and give opportunities at the lower end of the follower spectrum, just because I think that makes the most sense. It gives people a chance to kind of come up in this thing. Yeah, exactly right, Dale. I mean, that's the point of this, right? To get new voices in there, get new people up. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to do that. And then I think I'm going to try to be a little more aggressive in early round matchups to get good matchups and not have kind of very many where you're like, oh, this is going to be an 80-20. This is going to be, I'm trying to think. I mean, unprotected socks or wet bands.
This is just you trying not to go against Alyssa again the next time.
No, I'm not afraid of anybody.
Or Eliza,
I don't care. But
either one.
What I want, though, is more good, hard matchups earlier in the tournament. Like I was mentioning with like Tom Paints. I want Tom Paints to sweat in round one. I want all of us to kind of sweat in round one and it to be a little more competitive. Now, if it bears out that, okay, well, you ended up toasting someone, that's going to still happen. But I think probably in the past, I had more lopsided matchups as you got to the tips of the brackets, the 116s and 215s. I think we're going to change that. So
you can always,
how dare
my
you?
House, Jack, you just can't poop. You can't poop. You can always take a whiz. I don't give a shit. You can pee in the backyard for all I care. No pooping.
So all in all, I mean, great tournament. I think in general, I get a lot of shit throughout the tournament. People try to do the bots thing that no longer bothers us. 2-3 years ago, it might have bothered us. The bots now, we don't give a flying fuck. You want to spend your cigarettes and scratchers money on bots? By all means, go ahead. Doesn't really end up bothering us at all. So, I noticed it kind of stopped after a while because we were just like, all right, fine, fuck it, we'll. So whoever was trying to mess with us, they realized it didn't bother us. Then we don't give a fuck, so they stopped. But that's on to you. But I thought it was probably the best tournament we've had yet, and I look forward to next year. So even all the shit about seedings and Billy Wires threatening to kill me because I didn't put him in the initial field, it's all worth it in the end. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I felt great yesterday after the tournament.
Beef. As long as I could get to find bots gifts, I'm gonna be happy with being able to do that at the end of the day.
And if you do have an under 500 and an under 1,000 bracket, Billy Wires might make it in one of those two. We don't know.
Be in both.
He might be in both. Yeah, he's got enough accounts.
Could he restart then in the under 500 after the 1,000? Yeah,
it's double elimination. Yes,
that's awesome. Yeah, we'll just let him go for the whole time because he has a lot of good content built up in there.
I did roll forward the bracket this morning. I blasted out about 30 people who I didn't feel like did much content, and we'll start from there. Right. So I probably won't look at it again for a few months, but I'll get back to it eventually. Yeah, the Battle Royal was fun, Gabe, and I always go back and forth of how much we want to include play-ins in these things because it's just a pain in our ass to do more. That's one of the issues. So
I think the Battle Royale was good. I thought it was fun, and Gabe was awesome in it. So
Actually, Gabe did great once the tournament started, messing with unprotected socks all the way down the street.
Yes.
I really enjoyed
the hell
out of that. That was so funny.
I know UPS loved it too. Beef, I know you had a note here for us to discuss next year, what we think about next year. And I just wanted to let you know that I don't think about the 108 tourney again until November. So no thought. My Sox Summer, how about you?
The only thing I had written down was less bigs, more regs. That's all I'm thinking. We need the big boss man people. They asked Dave this morning, or not this morning, whenever they recorded Redline. It asked him why he wasn't in the tournament anymore, and Dave was like, "Because it's unfair." He's like, "I have a poll for Barstool and I have a poll for White Sox, so like, he's like, I just whooped everybody's ass. This wasn't
just true."
And he's right, and he's 100% right. Like, he could still whoop everybody's ass. Even and somebody said even when Dave was an infant, he still whooped everybody's ass. He would really whoop everybody's ass. So, so I thought that was
he had as much hair as an infant. Yeah,
he's
but
he's overfed infant right now.
Overfed infant. Or hung like an infant's arm. Who knows? I don't know.
Goodness.
Yikes.
Beef, how you feel about paying some bills, buddy?
I love it. Let's go for it.
Press play.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching us on a live stream right now and haven't subscribed, make sure you tickle the undercarriage of that subscribe button and get on board. If you've already subscribed and are watching the show, talking smack about MSS's internet and generally meat gazing at Treasy E and I, please smash that like button in the face. If you are listening on the podcast feed and have never enjoyed the eroticism that is the YouTube version of this show, come to youtube.com/FromThe108 and hit that subscribe button. Our previous goal was 1,000 subscribers. We're currently at 1,100 plus. That's going to allow us to make minimum wage for about 1 hour per month if we do a full podcast schedule. You just can't beat that. So get your friends, your family, your dog, everyone to subscribe and allow the 108 to fulfill the dream of becoming YouTube thousandaires. I love you. Teresa, you got to overdub when I say 1,100 and say 1,238. Something like that, because we're
Mr. Black.
We've gone above 1,100. You got to overdub in that part if you can.
Mr. Black. That's great.
We'll just dub that in wherever we need it. I mean, guys, I'm excited because I think we're going to get into a little baseball talk.
Oh, we sure are.
About goddamn time.
But
enough of this fan experience shit. Let's show them we're professionals.
Baseball talk like we do baseball talk. So we're bringing it back.
This is where
the horny meter is back.
Woo.
And so we're going to go through a couple things today, and we're going to gauge our level of horniness about these things.
Man, I got some snot.
First,
blow it all out, MSS. Oh man, that's a farmer blow almost.
I don't know what he's doing. Something's wrong. But
it looked like epilepsy there.
First up, I want to gauge your level of horniness for this.
Yeah.
This is the Dallas Keuchel bounce back. Beef, tell me how aroused you are.
You know what? It's one of those things, Trees, and we were talking about this offline the other day. We were talking about, when you got that perfect pair of sweatpants on and you're not expecting to get chubbed up, but you get chubbed because they rub you just the right way. That's how I am with Dallas Keuchel. Everyone is pronouncing him dead. I watched the Sox Machine that, they did the pitchers, roundup or whatever. And Janice Scurio was on there and she's like, I think he's toast. I think he's finished. I don't. I got a little chub going. I'm feeling like a little bounce back here. I think he's going to be okay.
Beef, I don't either. And, I was looking. And so if you look at the things that have declined for a Dallas Keuchel, I mean, obviously the strikeouts are down, but like he doesn't strike anybody out. The ground balls are down a little bit. He still gets a ton of ground balls. But what was different was, especially last year, was the amount of fly balls that he's given up.
Right.
And which obviously is leading to home runs, which is obviously bad. But
yeah, he can't live like that. Yeah.
If the guy's back is all fucked up and it was truly just he couldn't get his cutter and his sinker right, and he was letting people get under it, which he hasn't done in most of his career. If the back's healthy now, I don't know that it is. Is there a possibility?
He's like Jay Taylor claiming his knees are healthy.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. He doesn't want to end up in the Mexican League. But it's possible that if he gets the sinker right, that he just produces a lot more ground balls, and then it's fine. So
yeah, exactly, that's what I'm thinking too.
My Sox Summer, how horny are you for this?
So as you guys know, I always take the horny meter and I have a scale, within the horny meter, and it's something that kind of relates to something. So my scale tonight is how horny I am, and it is where I take a prom date. So like how horny I am for this girl or player it will be equated to the restaurant that I would take them to. So Dallas, Chili's. Okay, like it's not like the worst, right?
The worst, yeah.
It's not McDonald's.
It's not Olive Garden for sure.
No.
But it is a sit down. You're doing a little sit down.
You might watch your Olive Garden slander, Teresa. You son of I'm gonna take them to a sit down. You potentially have to get a reservation because it's prom night, and you got a bloomin' onion or like a substitute type bloomin' onion over there at the Chili's, I think, and a little bit more flavor than Applebee's. So always seemed a little bit more out there. So that is that's about how horny I am.
You know what I need? I need my My Sock Summer like Applebee's, Chili's, Olive Garden power rankings. He needs to put all the chain restaurant power rankings. You need to do that at some point soon.
Yeah, I'll do that. I also I went and checked something on my phone. I was not checking in my eBay auctions or anything. I was
no, of course
see if Dallas Keuchel got married, and it doesn't seem like he has. So I expect his struggles to continue until that shit is over, because he is probably getting bombarded with fucking questions from his fiance, who should know better because she's in the industry. Like, what type of napkin do you think we should get? What type of chair do you think we can have? What do you think we should drink at this location? Do you think we should have a bus, or should there be helicopters? You know, bullshit like this.
I just realized, Treasy, MSS is just on a roll today. He's just going and like
so confused by this. I don't know what he's talking about.
Don't just let it go.
What do you mean you don't know what I'm talking about?
Stop it. Let's just.
When you're getting married, it's a fucking pain in the ass. You get.
I didn't know he was getting married, and I didn't know his wife was in the industry, whichever industry this is.
It's Kelly Nash. She works for MLB Network or some shit.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, what a dumb fuck. God.
I didn't know either.
No,
she's a hot blonde that sits behind home.
I knew he was engaged. I did know he was engaged.
Yeah,
I didn't know. I didn't know the wedding plans were what we're dragging the guy down.
we got all
the inside info. I don't have MSS's inside info like this.
It's a fucking theory I've been working on since Avisel Garcia. Okay, once that motherfucker got married and popped out a kid, the guy got serious. We had all the bullshit years of I Garcia showing up at Sox Fest at 4:00 in the morning, his eyes falling out of his head with 18 broads. Okay, and then it wasn't good. So we didn't do that. But once he popped out a kid, he got serious, and then the Sox are like, we're just gonna take a sail on this one. No big deal. So yeah, no. What I'm saying is it's confusing when that shit's happening, and he's fucked up.
That's a good comment.
All right. Well, my thoughts on this are going to fail in comparison. What I was thinking was more like, a lot of times I do more relationship style. Like, what kind of relationship is this? And so I'm thinking like in singles, when Kira Sedgwick gets back with the sensitive ponytail guy.
Yeah.
It'll probably not be terrible, but zero upside. In this relationship.
It's capped. It's capped. It can't be
what
great.
It is.
It could be okay.
It could be okay. But you're just sitting there reading the Sunday paper to yourself across the table from each other. That's what this is. All right.
So if Brian's correct and they got married in January, then I have a lot more faith in him. I wouldn't.
Oh my goodness.
Chili's though. I wouldn't up the Chili's.
Let me ask you about
stick with the Chili's.
Let me ask you about your faith in the next one, which is Eloy Jimenez, White Sox home run leader. I'll start with you, my Sox Summer.
I think it's a given that he's going to be the home run leader. So I'm going with Olive Garden. Like, I know he's probably going to put out. So, like, I don't think I need to waste all that much money trying to impress him at dinner. Like, free breadsticks or unlimited breadsticks and salad and soup. Like, I think I can get away with that and probably still get lucky by the end of the night. So I'm going with Olive Garden with Eloy. It is a step up in the MSS world from Chili's. 2 steps up from the Applebee's, 3 steps up from McDonald's. So I'm just gonna ride with Olive Garden because I think it's almost a given that Eloy is going to do that this year. He is going to be on fire as long as he can stay healthy.
Beef, what do you think?
So this is one of those ones where you're just thinking about it all day. You're so excited about it. You can't wait for it. and you get yourself a little too hyped, and maybe you're making your O face way earlier than you'd like to.
No.
And that's when Eloy slips on a goddamn banana peel and he's out with some leg injury or some arm injury for 6 weeks. And it doesn't happen because he just missed time. And for some dumb shit, nothing permanent, just something that he's a goofy, like, a young elephant trying to walk around, and it doesn't work out. So you just come too early. I mean, that's how I'm feeling about Eloy home run title.
Strong disagree. So for me, okay. Look, I've never broken my zipper with an erection, but I just did for this because he's not only going to lead the Sox, but as you know, he's going to lead MLB history with 74 home runs this year. So I'm
got to get the meme back out there. Get it.
I'm excited. I'm excited. All right. Next up. And this is Beefloaf's writing, so I don't know exactly what this means.
I like that he prefaces this shit. Like, just say shit.
Lurie Garcia Q rating amongst fans. I don't want people to ask me in the comments what that meant.
We'll tell them what it means.
I think they know what Q rating means.
Beef. Yeah. What do you? But yeah, I don't know if you mean that they have a good one or a bad one. So I'm confused. But Beef, go ahead.
That's the whole opinion right here.
Yeah.
That's what you got to get down on. Right. I think it's going to be one of those ones where you're not expecting much. Kind of like, you're down on this person or whatever. They had bad breath before the one time you met them. And then, Tony La Russa knows how to use Lurie right. Like you saw kind of the end of the year. Lurie started coming to his own because Tony kind of played him more and played him regularly. And it wasn't just he made him a regular as a super sub, right? He kind of did the Zobrist thing with him in Tampa. Yeah. And I think you're going to go from, like in Beverly Hills Cop, the boss got to stay flaccid, at the strip club. So you're going to have, by the end of the year, you're going to be ready to go, baby. That's how I feel like fans are going to be about Lurie. They're going to rally around him as it comes down the stretch, as the performance continues. He's not going to be a superstar, but he's like that grindy guy that they always love, that for some reason they hate this one. And they kind of hated over Sanchez because it was a vestige of that old times. But if he's leading them to victories and helping out, like everyone remembers the Game 3 home run. And I think that's going to last into this year. And as he performs and does well, I think there's going to be a wave of fans behind him again.
Fuck the wave.
I want to know how everything that MSS is doing is louder than his actual voice when he's wearing a headset. Like that bottle just opening was loud as fuck. But it's louder than your speaking voice. I think you're using a different microphone or something. You got mics all over. Is Scotty standing there with a boom mic over you?
Steve Albini has mic'd MSS's setup over there. great jump sound he's got.
Several mics. There's a mic in the goose too, and that's right here. So we're all good. Oh man,
Ryan, I do this like 3 times a show, and I don't think anyone. Alex Rude might have me doing this, like a gif of me doing this, but otherwise no one has.
MSS, what are your thoughts here?
And horny fuck Alex Rude. What's up, Adam? Larry's Q waiting. Okay, this one's in depth. I had to write it down, so get ready for it. Local place with great food that your dad takes your mom to when he might have been a little overserved the night before and demanded sexual pleasure rather rudely. So this is where he goes, like, this is your dad's like, listen, go down to Johnny Smith's, house of food down here. He makes a really good such and such. Take him over there. So,
Treasy, all I can think of from this is you'll like it, and you know what I'm talking about.
Sterling was wild. I didn't know about it.
My dad never did that. What I'm saying is, you're not going to go out of town to get this meal, but it's going to be really good, right? Like it's going to be good enough. Like I guess not really good enough. I don't know. But you're not leaving. You don't have to go.
This is kind of the
upside is good.
What you're saying here is like this is the old standard, but you did this person wrong. Someone who's dependable in your life, someone who you deep down you love, but you did them wrong. You pushed them a little too far, and now you're trying to make good on that. I like this. This is actually a really good one. This is very cerebral and horny. I like it.
Yeah, like it's like I don't want to sit in the car for 45 minutes to like buy something that I can just get up the street at the House of Food. So it's what it is. But I think his cue, like the most interesting like part of this whole thing is going to be how people how people are going to react to him, because people are like, well, this guy should not be starting. This guy shouldn't be this. He shouldn't be that. You all forgot that the Sox held a press conference to announce that they were re-signing Larry for his 12th season. I mean, or whatever it was. Like, you're gonna get it shoved down your throat all season. Like, they think
that's how we got in this mess.
they think he is the answer. They think that he is something. Like,
That's why Dad owed Mom this dinner.
Exactly. That's why Dad had to scrape. Like, that's why he has to get the crab rangoon. You know, like, he has to get the fucking apps. He has to get the fucking, maybe the dessert. And you know what? He probably's going to have to pay $4 for that fucking latte at the end of the shitty meal, or the just okay meal. And then just suck it up. Just suck it up. So
I hope MSS never does me wrong, because he thinks a fucking order of crab rangoon's going to make up for it.
I didn't realize the aggression MSS has
the
to
latte?
post-dinner coffee. He doesn't want to pay for the expensive post-dinner coffee. I realize that now. So if we go out to a steakhouse, we're ordering coffee,
ordering the
and we're going
coffee?
to make him get coffee too.
Yes.
We're going to make him do it. No question.
Absolutely.
Treasy, what do you think about this one?
I hate following MSS. But so Lurie for me is just straight friend zone. I want nothing but the best for this guy. I like him, but there's zero horniness. There's just it doesn't excite me. A utility player doesn't excite me. I'm sorry. So it's he's a friend. That's basically what we're saying.
Friend zoned him. I love it.
All right.
I don't think we hear much friend zone here. Well, I don't think we've used friend zone in the.
We have not used friend zone before. I was excited to use it today.
Good approach. I'm about to use one that we haven't used either.
Sounds like a Christian arcade. The friend zone. You down to the friend zone and play Bobby Shares or Teddy Praise. And when you're done, go to Jimmy Smith's House of Food and get the Dragoon.
Man, I wanted to go to Noah's Arcade, and you took me to the friend zone, you prick. And yeah, I could use the Mike Myers reference.
We don't play laser tag. We play prayer tag.
All right. Michael Kopech, starting pitcher. My Sox summer. How horny are you for that?
Listen. This is the out-of-town steakhouse. Okay? Like I really want to land this one. Like, I am pulling it out. We are getting to the place that has the bread in the basket with the fucking napkin on it, okay, to keep it warm. It's the fresh bread that when you put the butter on it, the shit melts. It is so goddamn delicious. Now,
this is Johnny Smith, House of Better Food.
Now, so listen, this is important, and I'm not going to yell at you for stepping on me. The food might not be that great, but it sounds incredibly sexy. Okay, so the person is going to be drunk off of that vibe. Like, oh my God, he took me to the fucking Benihana that is 35 minutes away from where I grew up, and he's spending all types of money, and he let me get the steak plate. Oh my God, let me get the most expensive thing on the menu. I'm horned up. I'm probably going to give it in. So now, the one thing you got to do is, like, you got to remember, like at the Benihana, the food sometimes might not be the best thing, but when that guy fucking makes that volcano come up out of that goddamn fucking onion thing, you're like, oh, I remember that. And then, hey, 35-minute ride home might be a lot more fun than what you thought before you went there. So that's how horny I am for my Sorry,
follow that beef. Follow that.
It could not be that great, but it's still going to be fun and sexy to watch. And there's going to be moments of brilliance that are mixed in there for Mr. Kopech. I am excited. Is it going to be? I don't think it's going to be the best, but I still want to see what happens. And I think the moments of brilliance are going to be great.
I will follow that, Treasy. You know what? Let me tell you something. Michael Kopech has had me excited for basically the entire time he's been with the White Sox. I remember I fist pumped when Keith Law pushed him up and had him the number 7 prospect in all of baseball. And it was like an aggressive stance. I'm like, yes, he's going to become an ace. And then 2018, he comes up and he gets hurt. And then 2020, he sits out. Let me tell you what I got. Yeah, yes, that is correct. That's where I'm going with this. I got the worst case of blue balls ever about Michael Kopech. That's where I'm at with him. I had it. I was ready. I need a release, man. I need to see something now before I'm going to get excited. I can't get excited. Even like he's pitching tonight, I don't give a shit. All right. Let me see you out there. Let me see you doing it. I got nothing. I got no feeling for him. No, nothing other than achy blue balls right now. That's all I got. I totally agree. I can't believe the commenter was nailing it right when I was talking about it. I got the blue balls, man.
Poor guy.
The giant blue balls.
Once he has a
fans.
Once he has a great game.
Summer, my balls are average-ish, so not giant, just regular ass blue balls.
Hey, Beef, after he has a great first outing, don't sit on your balls, all right?
Try not to. Treasy, how about you, baby? What do you think of
Patrick?
So the thing that I thought immediately was like, this is like the first time you saw another person naked, and you're like, this outing is not going to last long, but I'm going to remember it for the rest of my life. I feel like that's going to be his whole season.
Oh, man. I don't know. Don't do him wrong yet. Like I'm excited, and I think it's going to go somewhat well.
I was just saying that he's only going like 4 innings per game.
That's true.
Yeah. It's going to be early on. It's going to be quick. Yeah.
It's going to be quick, but you're going to love it. Or at least you're going to remember it.
If we had a front office that could have signed us a fucking solid 5th starter, we wouldn't have to be in this predicament. And he could come in and just do the 4 innings after our homeboy Dallas starts like fucking falling off mid-season. And maybe he'd be up ready to go by the second half, but we don't have that. We don't have that luxury. So we're just going to have to throw him out there and to see it go.
See, Roxy gets what I'm saying. It's not how long you go. It's about the performance. Absolutely.
It's not how deep and wide. It's the motion in the ocean, right? Or something like that. It's not the size of the one. It's how you wield it.
That's right.
That's the same, like
whatever.
That's right. All that mythology.
It's all lies. But at the end of the day,
stories from the sea.
I'll take 125 great innings out of Michael Kopech this year. All right.
Yeah.
Last one, and I'm going to go first.
Do it.
So, because I think I've probably been the most critical of this one. This is Rick Hahn's ability to move Craig Kimbrell. And so my thought, and I'm going with a relationship one on this. This is getting pregnant to save the marriage. It's like, fuck it. I'm in so deep. Maybe this kid will fix this shit. Like that's where I'm at with this.
Let's just try it.
Well, let's have a kid. Well, how could that possibly make this work?
Incredible.
I mean, as hard as that is the follow up, Terezi.
Give it to me, my sock summer. Lay it on me.
Han, in this case, buddy, we're going Dutch. All right. Well, I'm not even trying anymore.
Wow.
Take you anywhere. I'm gonna be like, listen, we can go wherever you want, but you're paying for your shit and I'm paying for mine. Like, I'm not turned on by this thing at all. It's horrible. I feel like it was not a smart move. I think the money would have been better spent on a Carlos Rodon, even if that fucked us up, which I don't think that it would, but I think that it would have been better spent with him. I don't know. Maybe Han's going to pull it out at the end here and do something right. I don't know. It doesn't look like it. It looks like we're stuck with this guy, and we have all these great relievers, but we could have used at least one starting pitcher or a dynamite right fielder. I don't know.
Beef.
Both.
MSS just went up to the counter at Maxwell Street Depot, and they each ordered, and he's like, if you want, we could fuck in the Chinese kitchen parking lot across the street.
You know,
We'll do it in front of the closed rehab center in case since just no one's there. It's classier.
At Maxwell Street too.
Allegedly.
At Maxwell Street, the guy could ask too. He's like, "Are you paying for hers too?" And I'm like, "No, we're done.
No, she's got hers.
She's got hers."
She can take care. She got her
And
own.
when she comes and sits down, I'll be like, "Oh,
Take care of his own.
can I borrow some of them fries right there? Oh, those fries look good. They usually don't do good fries. Those look good. Can I have some?"
Actually, Maxwell does great fries. So let's
There's
not
no question.
let's not speak
Well,
out.
and you're getting an
What?
RC also with your meal. You're getting an
Oh,
RC
yeah.
Cola.
Definitely an RC.
100%, yeah.
Hey,
Definitely.
Chirizi, what fry isn't good at 2:00 in the morning? All I have to say, especially after about 17 Goose Islands.
MSS check raised you right there. That's what he did.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll tell you.
I have
Delivered
Wendy's
fries.
fry.
Delivered fries are the worst. All right, Beef. You got to close this one out.
I will, but before I do, I thought it was funny. Treasy's like, I think I've spoken on this more than anyone, and I couldn't get a word in edgewise before he started, but I wanted to say, yes, you did your first and only appearance on the CHGO podcast, ripping to shreds this whole thing, and Vinny Duber's mouth was like, it's like what is going on here? And Treasy kept going. I'm laughing, but quiet because I don't want to be on the microphone. But yeah, you scorched earth on this whole thing.
I mean, that's my first and last appearance. It's you got to make it worth something.
It's memorable. That's right. Yeah, I mean,
go remember me.
I agree with you guys, but in a different direction. This is that toxic relationship where all your friends know you guys shouldn't be together. You keep staying together only because you're just afraid of getting rid of this person because you might not find something better. And you just keep staying with them. You don't even really like each other at this point, but you just sort of stay together because you're like, I don't want to look bad. I don't want to be the person without someone. And that's what Han looks like he's doing here. It looks like one of those, like, he can't realize the sunk cost. You made a move. You tried it. You tried some things. It didn't work. It's time to cut it loose. And November would have been a great time to cut it loose. And now we're inching up on April and we're not still cut loose. You're still with this person. It's a bad look.
Yep.
Yeah. Beef, mine and yours are very similar.
Yeah.
Mine and yours are very similar. So
Mine was weird.
that's about
Yours
it
was
for
great.
tonight.
Yours was awesome.
The horniness meter closes it out tonight, but I do want to. Oh man, yes, I saw that.
Chase Fry not good at 2 a.m. So the commenters,
That's
maybe
true.
not. I have no idea.
We should
Actually,
talk to Wally.
he
about
might
that.
be really good at 2 a.m. He had some issues back in the day.
Allegedly.
Let's give a
Close
few
it.
thank yous before we close it out. Beef Loaf, give me some thank yous.
Oh man, I really want to thank everyone that helped us with the 108 tourney. So I want to thank our sponsors, Goose Island Wings and Rings, and then for the post game shows, I want to thank Mazda. I want to thank Steve O for being there for us doing that reveal show. I want to thank our guests from the reveal show, which was Shane Reardon, Summer George, Peyton, Ken W.O. And then I want to thank all of you that voted in the tournament, that pushed this thing, all the contestants in the tournament. Everyone that just had a great time with it. Anyone who promoted it on their own shows. We really appreciate that when you speak up about our content on your show. I mean, I try to do that when we can. I know we try to push other people's shows when we hear something interesting or things we like. So it's always appreciated when you do all that stuff. So thanks to everyone who really helped out with the 108 tourney. Love it. And especially you two guys who supported an idea you thought wasn't worth the shit, but you supported it because I'm your brother and you're like, okay, we got to have this guy's back. And it worked out. So bless
I'll
you.
get up there and play drums for you anytime.
That's
Just don't fucking cry about it. My Sock Summer, what do you think?
I'll sing backup. I'll sing backup. I echo all the same things that Loaf just did, and especially our sponsors. I think that these guys are willing to risk real money on something that is a totally made-up idea, something that we brought up several times during the tournament. To watch something gain as much notoriety as it does every year, it's just insane. Like, and it's like we created that. Like, well, Loaf created it. We helped create it. It's just we helped build it. We helped build it. It's just amazing every year that happens. I also want to thank our fans for putting up with the constant bombarding of spam shit within this 108 tournament. Like, we know probably sick of seeing us, and that's fine. And we'll try to get back to regular posting only when it's important. But what you can do now, I want to thank anybody that goes and uses our Final Four code, which I think gets over tomorrow. Go buy something in our merch shop. Go get a sweatshirt, crew neck sweatshirts. The kids fucking go buy one because I got a couple boxes over there. I love to send to your house. Send $4 off. It's a great deal. As Brian will tell you, 5 is better, but 4 is pretty good. So let's get that 4 in when you can. And it's basically, as SPF has sold it several times too, it's basically 20% off. That's a pretty good. And it's I can cold it for you. I can say regular price and double it, and then say 108 price and half it. But I don't do that. I just give you the lowest price to start off with. I'd be a great used car salesman. But thank you guys, and I thank anyone that goes and buys a sweatshirt.
Yeah, and buy that Southside shirt too before I end up in the jail underneath Skywalker Ranch.
Sure, easy. Who your thank yous going to?
I just want to thank everybody who stuck with us through this extended off season. I mean, there was just a lot of dead time in there, and I think we tried to make it as fun as possible. And I appreciate everybody who was tuning in, who was watching all off season, having fun with us. You know, it was great for us. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. And what's awesome though is the next time we podcast, which will be next Thursday, the Sox will have played meaningful baseball that day. So, they will be playing the next day, right? They'll be playing the next day. So it'll be the intro into the season. I forgot that they're off the opening day.
They are off the opening day. So they play the Friday. Yep.
So you'll get drunk with us. You'll wake up at noon the next day, right on time for that game to start. So it's going to roll out perfectly. I'm very excited to get the season underway.
Yes,
and we'll have some more stuff next week. Some actual baseball talk, but probably a lot of still horniness meter talk. We will see you all very soon. I'm very excited for the season to start, and we're out.